Hi, my name's Nick Dram, and my issues for the workplace is going to be sexual harassment. And this is one that really goes hand in hand. Majority we've been hearing about cases of being from stemming from women, more prone to sexual harassment, but it can happen in men too. And I think are speaking on both of the behalf of both genders. So let's get down to business. What is it? Sexual harassment's when someone makes unwelcome sexual advances towards you or remarks such as having to do with their sexuality or what they look like. They can even be just regular workplace harassment where they could make fun of your gender or your race or how you live and how you act. It's basically kind of like high school. I can make the reference towards that where kids always getting bullied. That's a very, very good example. And I think the best way to do this, with us being adults, we need to take action. I've actually been into a case where I had a colleague that I was working with at Kroger's, and she was susceptible to workplace harassment from another guy from a previous shift, and he'd always make advances towards her, and she really had no interest for him. So I actually really felt for her, and I came out and told him that, just leave her alone, go back to work, and then I ended up telling him management because they handled it much better than any of us could have. So, but yeah, so it could stem from a majority of different things, and it can range from, your gender, your sexuality, and other things like that. So, but one of the things that we all got to realize is that not all of us, like that kind of stuff said to us, and we just like to work and get out of there and, collect a paycheck, and that's what most of us like to do. So, I mean, we're not really looking for a relationship or, I guess, quote unquote, hookup. I mean, we're there to be professional, provide for the company that we work for, and do the best we can at the job that's asked of us. Prevention. I think there could be a few ways to prevent sexual harassment, but one of them is just telling someone no. When you come out, that's the first thing you need to do is tell someone no, and that you really want no part of what they're talking about or what they're referring to. If you put your foot down and you act serious, they're not going to do anything. They're not going to come forward with, advancing towards to another level or anything like that. Some will. There's some people that are hostile and crazy out there that will do it, but the best thing to do is tell them no, and if it gets out of control, go to the next step and contact the employer or your boss. Another prevention is making a policy. We actually had one where I worked at a Kroger's previously, and it was like it stood for, if you were caught doing it, like, you get a warning. The first time was a warning. The second time you would take a day off, and then the third time you're terminated. And I think that was the perfect thing. I mean, even though I figured after the first time you shouldn't be able, you shouldn't be doing it again, but some people it takes more than once to actually, sit in with them and realize that, hey, this is not going to happen. So that's one of the major things that prevents. I thought that was one of the best prevention type things to do. Policies are really the only thing that separates us from, the line of lawful and unlawful. Well, basically, taking immediate action is another one. You don't wait forever, you don't wait a few weeks or whatever and let it keep going on, because it gets worse and it starts escalating. So the best thing to do is to take action and really go from there with the proper authorities to talk to, because it may include the police or the criminal justice system as a whole. The pros and cons. So this could go hand in hand. Like I said, another one's a class. Another way of prevention is taking a class for all the employees. The class actually helps out with people realizing what's good, what's bad, what you can do, what you can't do, which is pretty, I think, self-explanatory, but some people actually need the benefit of the doubt to take the class to realize what they're doing is wrong. Some of the pros, it will help eliminate sexual harassment. It gives people, at least that everybody's aware of what's going on and what you can't be doing. A safer work environment. A lot of people don't want, even guys, some guys don't like it either. Majority Majority probably like getting hit on, but some guys just like to work and get out of there. I mean, they got wives and stuff. They really don't want to be dealing with that hassle and, you know, coming in between their marriage and stuff. So it makes a safer environment, and it actually does a very good job at keeping everybody safe. No one gets hurt mentally or physically. It could come to that point. No one will get hurt, and everybody, like I said, is on the same page, and you don't have any pressure of someone coming on and making sexual advances towards you, or whatever it may detail with them doing things that you don't like. But the cons don't really weigh out the pros. Like I said, there's cons to everything, but one of the cons is where are we going to make these classes? Who's going to pay for them? Not all companies really need to have these. A lot of people I know, I didn't take a class at Kroger, but another job my brother worked at, some people didn't even take the job because they were required to pay for a class before they did the job. I believe it was a hardware store. I can't really recall which store it was, but I know it was a big corporation, and they required you to do it, and some people, they wouldn't do it. So like I said, whose money is it, or whose pocket is it really going to come out of? When and where they take it? Where are they going to take these classes? I mean, you can't really do it right in the middle of a store, like, for example, a hardware store or a pool store. I mean, you can't do it right in the middle of the floor while customers are there. I mean, you got to find a place where you can do it. And then who's going to fill in for these shifts? Like, how are you going to take it? Is it going to be before they get hired in or after they get hired in? I mean, you got to take into account what you're all going to be doing, and where it's going to be to take these classes at. So it's got to be in a timely manner. You got to have people to replace the people that's got to sit out and take the class. So, I mean, there's a lot of question marks there, but as long as we can draft a policy, I believe the best solution is draft a policy. I think the class is ignorant to do. I think what you need to do is draft a policy and then have these people follow it. The policy is they got it's 3 strikes. It's the same with any job or in baseball. 3 strikes, you're out. That's it. And I believe that's what it should be. If you have to get told a third time, it's time to find a new job, So I believe that's the best solution for this, because the others got too many cons and question marks of where and when and who's going to pay for this, this type of stuff. So, so that is my solution to sexual harassment in the workplace. Well, if you have any questions, audience, you can feel free to ask me. And I hope each and every one of you have a great day. Thank you.